Hi guys, for my first episode of culinary trip around the world, we are doing Germany. Yeah, Germany. What do you think when you think German food? I know you're gonna say pretzels, sauerkraut, you're gonna say sausages, beer, Oktoberfest. We're gonna do none of it today. We are making a very interesting dish. It's called Eintopf. What is an Eintopf? In German, Eintopf means everything in one pot. On the very busy days, back in the days, a German housewife will make an Eintopf when she has a lot of things to do around the house, when she has no time to do any complicated dish. So she will make an Eintopf. Eintopfs usually contain some kind of grain, some kind of vegetables, some kind of meat. We are making a vegetarian Eintopf today. It is going to contain a lot of vegetables and a very interesting grain. So let's do it.
Follow me in the kitchen for a wonderful recipe of Eintopf. For this recipe you will need 64 ounces of vegetable broth, 1 cup of wheat, which is a farro, 3 shallots, 2 cups of mushrooms, 1 leek, 3-4 small carrots, 1 cup of frozen peas, 1 bunch of parsley, salt and pepper to taste, 1/3 of a cup of cooking oil, and 1/2 of a teaspoon of freshly ground nutmeg. Farro is a wheat grain that very often used in all different kinds of vegetarian dishes. I'm going to cook farro in the rice cooker. I find it much easier and faster because farro is a really hard grain and it takes a long time to cook it on a stove. So while I'm cooking it in the rice cooker, I can do my other prep work for the soup. We're going to peel and cut our shallots. I like using shallots for this recipe because, as I mentioned before in my other videos, shallots have much milder taste and flavor than the onion, and I think for this particular soup they're just going to be perfect. So just cube all your shallots and put it in a separate bowl. We have to cut our leek in half and rinse it really well because as you can see, it has a lot of tiny layers, and sometimes sand can be trapped in those layers, and if you don't rinse it really well, you will be able to feel this taste, the sand in the dish. So we're going to slice our leek and just use the white part of it and just leave the green part behind and just put everything in the bowl. We're going to slice mushrooms now, and you don't have to slice them too small. I just cut them roughly. In my case, I'm using 2 different types of mushrooms. I'm using the white mushrooms and the brown mushrooms. I think it would be pretty in the soup, and also will create some different flavors because those do have slightly different flavors. So just cut them and put them in the bowl. Now it's time for our carrots and parsnip. Parsnip is a very interesting vegetable. It has a look of a white carrot but a taste of a parsley. It is a root vegetable, and I use it often in different kinds of soups and stews. I think it will also add a nice flavor to the soup. And for the carrots, I'm going to use all these tricolored carrots. I found them in the organic section in a supermarket, and I thought they're going to be just fun. So we're just going to peel our carrots, and we are going to grate them later. I'm going to reserve those tricolored ones for the decoration, and I am going to grate the rest of them and put them in a separate bowl, actually in 2 separate bowls. because those tricolored ones we're gonna add to our soup much later when it's ready. To grate my carrots, I'm using this julienne grater. You don't have to grate the carrots, you could just cut them in small cubes or slices, but I just thought it's gonna look so much more interesting if we grate them. Last one but not least is our parsley. Just roughly chop the parsley and also put it in a separate bowl. Let's open our rice cooker and check on our farro. I think it's ready. All the prep work is done and we are ready to make our Eintopf. I am using the cast iron pot to make our Eintopf. Just put a little bit of a cooking oil. I'm using avocado oil on the bottom of the pot. When the oil is hot, we're gonna start adding ingredients in a specific order. First, shallots. Then we're gonna add leek. And just mix everything in between adding another ingredient. Then carrots. Also mix it in. If the mixture becomes too thick, you can add a couple tablespoons of vegetable broth. Then mushrooms. Then peas. And at this point you can add a little bit of salt and pepper. It will help also for the vegetables to create a little bit more flavor. Then goes in our farro. Mix everything together. Add more salt and pepper. And at this point we're gonna add our nutmeg. And the last goes in parsley. We're gonna pour our vegetable broth. And I'm gonna use both packages of vegetable broth, because the Eintopf, it's something in between a soup and a stew. So we don't want it to be too thin like a soup, but we also don't want it to be too thick like a stew. So we sort of have to catch like a middle. So just put your lid on and we're gonna simmer it for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, we're gonna put our tri-colored carrots we reserve for decorations and mix it in and turn off the pot. It's ready. We're going to serve our Eintopf in a rustic bowl, and we're gonna add a little bit more of that freshly ground nutmeg. It's gonna add just a wonderful flavor, and some fresh parsley. I hope you can recreate this wonderful recipe. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you soon.